James Bella, the boxing source, here with another video, and this one goes into the rumor department as I had received word about something that went down after a high profile fight that may stir up a little bit of controversy. I had been told, and this is not necessarily confirmed or anything like that, but the person that I spoke with, dealt with for a good little while in the boxing scene, and they have been very close to a lot of notable fighters within the southeast area. But they had recently told me that in reference to a high profile fight, and the high profile fight was the Manny Pacquiao Keith Thurman fight that took place in Las Vegas, that after the fight took place, Keith Thurman was not tested for any performance enhancing drugs or any substances. Usually, with fights of this magnitude, you're supposed to have an extensive testing protocol, but we all knew leading into the fight that they were not using the more well known testing um, agencies that are used for fights of this magnitude, especially world title fights, as this one was for the WBA Super Championship at the welterweight division, with Keith Thurman coming in there as the Super Champion and Manny Pacquiao coming in as the WBA regular champion. Um, but we all know about them not using VADA in this case, and that they basically had testing protocols or testing agencies used by the State Athletic Commission, which kind of like raised a few eyebrows in the boxing community. So now here, as we are, a couple of weeks after the fight took place, we see that this word of Keith Thurman not being tested after the fight kind of like brings up that, in the same token, Manny Pacquiao hadn't been tested after the fight, and a lot of people raising questions in reference to all of this and the performance of Manny Pacquiao and his not testing, but his training regimen, in that he was doing things at his particular age that you wouldn't really expect from someone of his age, 40 years old, and that he was able to run for long periods of time and be able to perform the way that he did at his age. That this could bring up a suspicion that they did not hold testing for any performance enhancing drugs in the schedule that many of these other testing agencies do, especially when it comes to random testing. So, that kind of like raises a red flag as to how things went down for this fight, and kind of like goes into the whole suspicion that some people had when they were able to make this fight between Manny Pacquiao and Keith Thurman, and that Keith Thurman basically had to agree to the testing protocol that was put in place there for Manny Pacquiao. That it did not include VADA, which is mainly used for um, you know WBA sanctioned fights. So it was kind of strange that they were able to have that go through, and now with this coming down, that you may not have had any testing taking place after the fight, that could raise even more questions as to what is going on with Manny Pacquiao. Of course, a lot of people are gonna, raise questions about this, but I mean, this is something that was overheard, and that they deal with a lot of people within the boxing communities, particularly in the Southeast U.S. area. So they uh, have been close to those that are around the Tampa Bay area, which is where Keith Thurman resides. So, I mean, go ahead and post your thoughts about this quote unquote rumor that has been pushed out, that there was no testing taking place after the Manny Pacquiao Keith Thurman fight. You could subscribe to the Boxing Source on YouTube, and we have our podcast Sundays 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time on Blog Talk Radio. On that note, I'm out. Peace.